Hello. So I wanted to take the time as I make myself something to eat for lunch. Uh, the side effects of being a drag queen, especially one who is very active and will fight for just about any cause in the community. To those who are starting drag, or those who have been in it for a year and a half, if you haven't figured it out, or whatever the case may be, or just a few years, and you sit on the outside looking in most cases, and that does happen. I say this: heed my warning. It's not a pity party. It's nothing like that. There, I'm trying to get out. When I say heed my warning, I mean just that. Pick your battles. Um, you know, uh, Look at the situation from the outside looking in, not closed-minded, not this is something you can get behind. Good can come from this, because although a lot of good can come from advocating, protesting, stuff like that, there's also the bad. And unfortunately, in my case, there has been more bad than good. Now, I'm not saying that it has always been that way, or been that way. I had friends. I've had tons of friends. I have more acquaintances than friends, that I've come to find out. But friends that I've had for years, and I mean years, before my son was born and after my son was born. And some of these people are no longer in my life for one reason or another. Some of them never agree with some of the things I say or do. A lot have taken it to heart. Anything bad that you could think that could come from being a drag queen and losing those friendships. And I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm starting my 8th. You pick and choose your battles. It doesn't get. I don't want to say it gets better. It gets easier. But there's those times where you need help. Just even somebody to listen, and those friends aren't there anymore. Some may think you're making fun of them, being stupid, or whatever the case may be, even though that's not the case. I just had to remove one friend because I did not want to get mixed up in whatever games they were trying to play, to see how long I would respond on Facebook or all that crap. Another friend I removed because it just got to a point where I felt like I was chasing my friends. You shouldn't have to chase anyone. You shouldn't have to chase friends, acquaintances, business prospects. Not saying you shouldn't chase a business prospect, but I mean, when it gets to a point where you realize, after a certain amount of time, that I'm getting nowhere with this person, sometimes you just got to leave it as is. Walk away. And I've had to do that more often than not, unfortunately. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So like I said, pick your battles. View it from all aspects, depending on what you're going for, like what you're fighting for. Because I can tell you right now, when you fight against an entire community, in the end, you're the one that gets burned. As much good and positive aspects and outcomes that can come from that, in the end, sometimes certain cliques in a community or whatever the case may be, they may find that, like you may find that the only time they come calling is when they want something. And that's unfortunate. But when you come knocking, sometimes you find that that community that supports you is not there. So, like I said, pick your battles. Don't just stand by when somebody's being wronged for whatever reason, but pick your battles, especially when it comes to friends, family members, because in the end you could be left with no one. And it's a sad way to live, especially if you live in the same city or not. Your friends, family members may be down the street from you and could just drive right past you without saying hello, stopping in to say hi or whatever the case may be, even though you may reach out to them. But pick your battles, because you could end up on the shit end of the stick, even though you're trying to do good, and without blowing your stack, so to speak. So I can't stress that enough. Just pick your battles. I'm not saying don't do that. Don't fight, but pick your battles, because in the end you could be the one getting burned. Yeah, people will never, in most cases, people won't forget all the bad up to certain points, like going in a period, different periods, but they never remember the good. So once the good starts to outweigh the bad, then people never forget. So like I said, just pick your battles and go from there. That's the best thing I can say. Find yourself. Figure out where you want to be. Don't follow suit with a ton of other people. Pick your battles. Be you. Be unique to yourself. Push through it all. And in the end, whether you stick with it or not, there's always a silver lining at the end of it. So that's my recommendation and my advice as the dogs wander around me because I have food. So take care. See y'all later.